Let's see, let me get this thing going here. Live chat, pop this off. So Sinfuls is on board already, the moderator. Carlos Alvarado, we got 2 people on here. We'll wait a couple minutes, get this up and rolling. We've been doing a lot of work around the house today, so it's been a busy week. So you guys have I've had a couple people say that I seem like I'm stressed or something. I'm not really stressed. We just got a lot of work going on. We have the doors we've been working on in Justin's apartment. Plus we've been doing Joanne's apartment, my daughter. So we're painting that and getting that all ready. Plus we're going to do the doors on all the other apartments so they all match. So that's what's been going on so far. See if we get some more people on here. So far I've got 1 person. Hopefully this went out. Here we go. Starting to build up now. Good. We got 4 people on here. Who else we got on here tonight? Since we're just 8 people. Here we go. May Ann Ocean Vlogs. There we go. And we got Michael on board. Good evening and Merry Christmas. Yeah. You just saw the post I put up, a big stand. So RC in Jacksonville. How you doing, RC? Francisco is on board. I was just talking to Francisco. Francisco got his house done finally. Michael, it is the Burr months. Yes, September, October, November, December. See, Dean is on board. There we go. How you doing, Dean? What's going on? We are getting up there fast. So we can pop some questions on it. We can talk about anything we want tonight, pretty much. Seems like lately everybody just goes all over the board, so I'm open to anything tonight. Mayan Ocean Vlogs, Christmas in the Philippines already. Yes. I just posted that thing with Stan went out and bought a Christmas tree, because most of the people here in our group, the Filipinos anyway, haven't really experienced a Christmas tree. And Stan went out and bought one, and it was kind of something different for everybody. You know, it was kind of nice to see that. And I thought I'd share it with you. I went outside and everybody was gone. I was like, where did everybody go? And I went over to Stan's house and they were all camped out over there getting Christmas ready. So it was kind of nice. Ted K, hello from Davao. Leonard Marlin, good evening, everyone. Sinful says, yes, heard Christmas music at Avista Mall on Friday. I heard it there, heard at the mall the other day too. Also, actually, today at Dasma. Mr. RW watching from Texas. There we go. So we got 23 people on board for start. That's pretty good. So anything you guys want to talk about, I'm open to talk about. But yes, I thought it was a wee bit early to be setting up a Christmas tree. Maybe put out, if you want to put up some Christmas music. But when I got over there, I was kind of shocked to see everybody putting up the Christmas tree. And I thought it was kind of funny, actually, in September, because I've never seen anybody do it in September. Not even in October, for that matter. Usually some people will put it up after Halloween, but that's quite early. Tony Curley says, hello from Blue Ridge Mountain in North Carolina. How you doing, Tony? Let's see, we got Mayan again. Mayan says, right, Sinfuls, you can hear Christmas song wherever now. Yes, you can. Carlos Alvarado says, I don't have sound. It's me only. Yes, it's probably only you. Everybody else can hear it, apparently. Nobody else has mentioned it. Sinful, you might have to click the sound thing. You might have it off. Sinful says, okay, folks, let's start right away with the thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We got 11 thumbs up already. Lazy Larry Lee says, hello, Steve. How you doing, Larry? Francisco says, I'm still getting used to the no Thanksgiving break before Christmas decorations. Yes. Actually, Thanksgiving around here is kind of weird and lonely for an expat, I notice. We go out and celebrate. We take a bunch of us out usually and celebrate Thanksgiving. We usually go to Kenny Rogers. I think this year here we're going to go to probably Texas Roadhouse, and we'll probably get a larger group, and we'll probably take a lot of the expats. That'll probably be that month's expat meeting, maybe. Maybe we'll probably do something else too. Let's see. Michael says, you forgot the no politics disclaimer. Yes, no politics. We always talk a little bit of politics, but I try to stay off like the hard politics. You know what I'm talking about. Sinful says, must be at Carlos Alvarado's. Sound is fine. Let's see. Michael L says, it's only you, Carlos. Leonard Marlin says, sounds fine. Lazy Larry, hi, Sinfuls. And Sinful says, hi, Lazy Larry. Let's see. Raquel Vargas says, hi, Steve, watching from Hong Kong. There we go. So we got people all over the world watching. It's kind of cool. James Franklin says, how strict are VA with meds not service connected? Very strict. Heart meds, all the other meds are service connected. You know, if you go in there and something shows itself while you're there, like they notice that you're suffering from something, and they'll treat it for like maybe 30 days, and that's it. That's the way they work on that. So like it's mostly, when I say it's mostly service connected, like if they see something, they'll treat you there for that, but they won't treat you for it again. So you can't go back and say, hey, well, you treated me for it last time. At least that's the way they work lately. They have been. I don't know if that policy has changed, but they've treated me a few times for things that presented themselves during the during the visit with the physician. So but usually it's strictly service connected, and even the doctor will tell you, but they will break down and treat you for stuff like that. London Marlin says, I need to find a turkey for Thanksgiving. We actually had turkeys living over at the mayor's house for a while, but they're very stinky. We could smell them up above when you walked by. But you can find turkey here. I think you can get turkey at some of the places like Landers and S&R, places like that. RLV says, hey, Stevie, use StreamYard. Sinful says, hey, Steve. Pam says, let's rent a place and have a potluck and swim. Hey, I have that place. we could do something like that. We'll talk about next time we get together about Thanksgiving, because I do want to have a nice Thanksgiving with everybody. I think that would be awesome, Leonard Marlin says, any ideas? See, Cliff Davies, good day, mate. Cliff from Australia. How's it going, buddy? Love your vlogs. Thanks, man. Sinful says, hi, Raquel Vargas. Francisco Fletes, next month the VA is getting rid of all controlled meds. Yes, they are. And that's really kind of bad for us. But, most people that are on the controlled meds are pretty much up there in what they get for a disability payment. So, I mean, for what those cost, it's very cheap. For like tramadol and stuff like that, it's very cheap, and that's all I take tramadol, and I don't take it every day, only when I need it. Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie says, good evening, Steve. How you doing, Off the Cuff? See, James Franklin says, do you have a primary care doctor for service connected issues, or is it rotation for docs? I have a primary care physician, and she happens to be really, really good. She's a good doctor. Let's see. Dean says, when you go to your first appointment, the VA will resupply all meds that they have and you need that you have already been prescribed, but you only get that first visit. Did they do that? They did that for me. Okay. Yeah, they did that for me too, for the most part. Some stuff they didn't have. And then but yeah, let's see. RLV says exchange rates 56.82. Was up 57.15 the other day, and 57.15 and 57.27 another time, I think, or 25 or something like that. I think it was when I checked it. James Franklin says some of my PTSD are controlled meds. James, you may have to try to get that prescribed through another doctor now. Over here, unfortunately. It looks like it's going to be that way over here. Leonard Marlin says, hit a high of 57.36. Yeah, I know it was heading up. And some people are saying it might hit 60 within the next couple months, which I hope it doesn't for the Filipinos, to be honest with you. I don't want to see it go above 58, for sure. It's nice where it is for us, but it's not nice for the Filipinos, Francisco Fletes says 2,500 PHP for 30 days of Klonopin and Ambien, plus 1K PHP for teleconsult visits every month. That's not that bad, though. I mean, it's not that bad at all, to be honest with you. ROV says Typhoon Indai is here. There we go. We have a girl that lives here. Her name, we call her Indai all the time. That's her name. Let's see, Michael's, it says 56.8. Brooke Snyder says, Stratford, Ontario, in the house. Brooke is one of us, as is Francisco is too, but he hasn't gone to any of our things yet. We're waiting for him to show up. So, Francisco, you got to go to one of our things when we have one. We're going to have one probably in another week or two. So it's going to be coming up soon. And it'll be at Chili's this time, okay, because of the rain. Once the rain's over, then we'll start doing Batangas runs and stuff like that. Thanksgiving, we might do two in November, one for Thanksgiving and one for a getaway. So by then we should have less rain, hopefully. Let's see. Leonard Marlin says, I hope it does, but you're right. Not good for Filipinos. No, it's not. Sinful says, Francisco Fletes need to try to get off the Ambien. That is bad stuff. Yes, it is. Actually, I knew a lady that got in 3 car accidents because of Ambien. Because it affected her the next day so bad that she got in those 3 accidents. And she was wondering why she was getting into accidents. It was the Ambien. It was still in her system. She was falling asleep at the wheel on the way to work. And one accident was pretty bad. Francisco Fletes, not. No, it's not. Raquel Vargas, I miss the Philippines. Francisco Fletes, it's not a bad price. It is what I meant. No, that's not a bad price. Sorry, Case. I'm here. I'm there in October, still deciding if come to check things out, return home, or just come one way. I recommend you come over here and check it out, but go with the idea that you might go back. And if you have to go back, just set up differently or somewhere else or something like that. Sometimes you need a change, whether it's coming over here or going to a different town or something like that. You can always go back and just start up somewhere else. Brooke Snyder says, Francisco, is your house done? Actually, his house is done. He just sent me the info on it. It looks pretty good too, Brooke. It's beautiful. I'm probably going to go over there and do a video on it sometime. I'm going to have to get in touch with him about that. I want to show the solar panels over there. He's got solar panels in the house. I want to do a video about that and the house itself. Dean Thompson says, I'd love to be able to find Ambien here. I just ran out. Francisco Flittes says, yes, it's done. Sinful. Sorry, Case. One way for sure. Haha. Ang Hubby says, good evening, Steve. Thank you for all the informative videos. Keep them coming. And enjoy the early Christmas. You guys have seen the early Christmas. That's pretty cool. I just popped that up, so it must have already got a lot of hits. Sinful says, hey, Brooke. Brooke Snyder says, hey, Sin. Francisco Fletes says, it helps me keep the CPAP on. Okay. Sinful says, I have hard time using my CPAP. I've never had to use any. I'm lucky, I guess. I just can't sleep. That's my problem. Carlos Alvarado says, greetings from Kelowna, BC, Canada. There you go, Brooke. We have another Canadian in the house. So, put your orders in for Balak buying boxes. Lazy Larry says, Sinfuls, I cannot sleep without CPAP. Let's see. Element says, good AM, guys. Sinfuls, Lazy Larry, Lee, I'm managing. Sorry, K says, do you know a great dentist that do implants? I'm not sure if my dentist does implants. You can always contact De La Salle University Hospital. My dentist is over there. I forget the guy's name. My girlfriend knows the name. It's him and his wife over there. All the dentists over at De La Salle University Hospital at Dasma are really good. Okay, so you can check out over there. Sorry, Case. I would say he's probably one of the better dentists in the area. I would imagine he does implants. But you can talk to him and give him a yell. Francisco Fletes says, most of us have OSA. LOL. Let's see. But yeah, for dentists, guys, if you guys are ever looking for a dentist, really shop around in the Philippines for a dentist. We had the dentist down the street here, and she was the first dentist I walked into her office, and I had just seen the dentist in the United States like a few months before, and I walked into her office, and she told me I had 8 cavities after doing a 2-minute cleaning. So, and I figured she was going to spend about a half an hour doing the cleaning like most dentist office do, but 8 cavities, she said, and then I just got up and walked out because I knew I didn't have any cavities, and then I went over to De La Salle, and he says I didn't have any, so I knew I had a good dentist when I went over to De La Salle because he was honest with me. So that says something right there, And he has a very clean office. It's just like a U.S. office. It's not filthy. It's clean. It's he's got everything there. He's very meticulous about cleanliness, and that's one thing I love about the guy. Let's see. Timmy, are you winning governor? Let's see. RLV says exchange rate will temporarily strengthen. OFW remittance, BPO payments, imports, receivables. Brooke Snyder says we need to get an expat approved dentist. Jimmy Mack had problems with his guy. Yes. Yeah, another one of the expats here had a problem with a dentist in one of the malls, and he had told me that he was kind of really unhappy. I guess he didn't glue in whatever he was supposed to put in. He didn't put the stuff that holds it in. And it's because it was out of stock. That's a true story. You know, that's what he told me. Uh, Dave Evans says, always enjoy your videos. Be coming in the end of November for a few months too. Check things out. Element 564 says, we finally got a little bit of rain here in Southern Cal. That's good. You guys need more than a little, though. You need a lot, to get those lakes full there. Sinfil says, RLV, looking at buy a building lot in the next month or so. So hope it's 60 plus at least for my deal, not for Filipino. Ha ha ha. James Franklin says, with RxVA, it depends on doctor what they prescribe. One VA doctor doesn't have to honor another VA doctor meds. May change it up. I had 8 different primary care in 8 years. I'm lucky because I've had my doctor here for 4.5 years now, 4.5 years. And I'm really, really glad that, that I've had that, that I had the same doctor all that time. And we got Glenda in the house. Glenda is one of the people that is in our group. She's in our community group here. She says, hello, Steve. Good evening. How you doing, Glenda? Glenda, give us a call soon because we're going to be doing a get-together pretty soon. If you can, try to stop by. Michael L. says, the dollar is doing well against all currencies. Yes, it is. Due to the Fed raising interest rates, though I suspect the euro will stabilize now that the ECB is starting to raise rates as well. Brooke Snyder says, a lot of expats have various dental issues. We could, as a group, definitely support a good dentist. Yeah, Brooke, I send everybody to that dentist. If you have a problem, contact that dentist and check with him. I think you'll be very happy with that dentist. Badette knows the guy's name and the guy's wife. It's a husband and wife team, and they're very good. And he's a very friendly guy. He knows what he's doing. He speaks English really well, and his office is just super clean. And to me that means a lot. It does to most people, I think. The dentist down the street here, the office was filthy. It was seriously filthy. Element says helped a lot on the Hemet and Big Bear fire. Leonard Marlin says noticing when the stock market goes up, the pesos go down. Anyone notice that? I bought when the feds raise the interest rate, the peso will get weaker. Christopher Leroy says they need more than rain in California. Yes, they need a new government. RLV, Sinful's at just temporary exchange rate for the meantime, following the U.S. Fed rate. Sinful says, we're at 60 watches, but only 27 thumbs up. Folks, smash it. Thanks. There we go. Thanks, Sinfuls. Timmy, dollar is doing well because many countries are at near defaulting on dollar-denominated debts. Okay. All right, gotcha. All right, I see that just below it. You wrote it. It was misspelled. Dean says, Sinful's 3 thumbs up. Let's see, we're at about 60 people, 30 thumbs up. So we're doing good here. So just keep on talking here, popping some questions here because we're running out here. So we can keep this conversation going here, guys. But we are planning on doing another getaway. I'll talk while we're slowing down here. We're planning on doing a getaway to Batangas as soon as the weather starts changing here pretty soon, guys. So for you guys that are part of the group and part of the people that want to join our group, we do getaways or we have a meeting each month, like a dinner or something like that, and we all sit and have dinner and just talk and everything. It's a good time. But we want to do another Batangas run, or we have an ATV run we're planning on doing, and we're going to do another Chili's get together soon. But we plan on doing some other stuff too. And if any of you guys want to make any, if you want to give me any ideas, I'm open to ideas. Lazy Larry says, Sinfuls, I always hit the thumbs up before I tell Stephen hi. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. Let's see. John Bergeron says, I went to Singapore last weekend for my second 3-year exit, came back in with no onward ticket and no problem. That's pretty good. Without the no onward ticket. I know most of the time, I think they check it at the airlines, but that's great if you can get in here without doing that. Michael L. says, the dollar is the world reserve currency. That is why international loans and trade are done in dollars. Sinful says, yes, Lazy Larry Lee, thanks for that. Christopher Leroy says, how is your stock holding? doing the last 2 weeks. Actually, Christopher, my stocks are back up with Tesla. Tesla's back up again. I'm out of ARK temporarily. I pulled out because I had a feeling it was going to go down for a while because I knew tech stocks would go down. I do love ARK. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people laugh at me for that, but I love ARK investments because I know over the long term that those stocks will do good. Over 5 or 10 years, I think they'll do great. It's just a matter of coming out of this and changing the politicians that we have in the White House right now. So we'll see what happens, during the next election, and then maybe I'll dump some money back in. But right now, I don't think it's the time to put money back in. I think it might even go lower in the tech stocks. Sorry, Kay says, do you invest in dividend stocks or growth? I've invested in both. Eventually, I might do more dividend stocks as my stocks grow. I plan on switching them over little by little. Sai says, looking at November to be in Manila from Syracuse, New York. There we go. I like Syracuse. That's a nice area up there. The Adirondack Mountains. Brooke Snyder says, Bitcoin and the miners are starting back upwards. That's good. I was just looking at Bitcoin and all that stuff the other night, by the way. Ted LaSalvia says, good morning from San Diego. I went to school out there in San Diego, cook school from when I was in the military. Let's see. I was out there for about 8 weeks or something like that. Nice, beautiful place. Sinful says, Sai, good time to get out of New York. Yes. Actually, up in upstate New York, it's beautiful up there, but it's expensive living with all the taxes and stuff. Michael L says, double checked, and I already hit the thumbs up, as I always do. Thanks, Michael. Sinful says, Michael L, thanks. Bob Steele, howdy, Steve. We spoke and emailed a couple of times last year. Appreciate your good advice. And I've been in PI for over a month now. I'm in Castillejos, but when I make your way, I'll look you up. Okay. So I gotta tell you guys this because I get a lot of calls of people that want to visit me, and it's almost like daily. I get probably like 2 or 3 people that want to visit, and sometimes it's almost impossible for me to meet people. But if you give me advance notice, I will meet people, or I can give you notice of when we're gonna do one of our meetings or something. You can meet our group, and that's kind of a cool thing. So if any of you guys out there are living in the Philippines or whatever, and you do want to meet up with our group, or you want to meet with me, do it at a time when we're going to have a group meeting, and I'll let you know when we have it, and you can come then. It's a good time that we have, and you can meet all the guys too. Let me see here. Timmy says, I am going to wait until there are blood in the streets before investing. Michael L. Brook, which means graphic cards will become expensive. Lazy Larry says, Sai, I live in Waterville, New York, near Albany. Sai says, you know it beat the snow. Carlos says one thing is go to the Philippines for holidays, and another is moving to live there. I'm retiring next year, and your info have helped me to understand what to expect. Yes, I mean I that's what I want people to see, because a lot of people, I don't want them to come over here if they definitely can't make it, and some people, I understand, can't make it. I see them sometimes, so I know, Francisco Fletes says, good Rothschild reference. Let's see, Surrey case, easy to find good coffee beans there. Yes, there's places that sell coffee here. I see them in the malls. They sell Philippine coffee and coffee from outside the country too. Christopher Leroy says, how many times have you gone to PI before making the big move? Me? I was here twice before. I was actually married to a Filipina before, so that will give you a rough idea. So I was over here before. Brooke Snyder says, Michael, I don't mind. Just hold the miners, sell calls to generate income while I wait. RLV, good weather now in Manila due to Typhoon Indai. Oh, cool weather, yes. It's a little bit cooler outside. Yeah, it's not really hot. It's a little bit muggy, though. Ted LaSalvia, good to hear about the Expat group you have. That was one of my biggest questions, as having a former community is important to me. Yeah, we have a really good group here, and it doesn't matter where you live as long as you live around Manila, and as long as you can get to our meetings and stuff. But I mean, if you live here in Tracy, we have a good little group here. That's our core group, and it's kind of nice. And we have like Sinfuls. Sinfuls is a little bit far away, but we get together once in a while. And we have Dean and a lot of other people, but we get together, and when we get together, we have a lot of fun. Tim, let's see. Sinful says Ted Lasavia, yes, big friendly group and helpful. Tim Norton says hello from South Boston. There we go, South Boston. I used to live near, right outside of South Boston. Let's see, married to Filipina from Waipahu, Hawaii. Never been to Philippines. If we had 3 PF 4 weeks to vacation, where would you start? Palawan. Starting If you're coming here for vacation, go to Palawan. Also I'd go to Batanes, opposite ends, but I mean Batanes is beautiful too. I like Batanes because I've seen it in pictures. It's a very beautiful place with a lot of history too. Keith Richards says, how long does dating the family last when you first meet a Filipina? I think most families take you right into the family. I wouldn't call it dating the family. Most families you get pretty close with them really fast. You'll see. You'll feel like you're part of the family as soon as you come here. Jomar Madrigal says, good morning from the Bay Area. Enjoy your videos, and I'm originally from Gentry and visit from time to time. Welcome aboard, Jomar. Brooke Snyder says, sorry, Case, send yourself coffee in the Balak buy-in box. Sinful says, Keith Richard, lifetime, ha ha ha. Let's see, Michael L says, sorry, Case, look for Kalinga coffee. Think of it as Sumatra. That's cool. I'm not a coffee drinker myself. Keith Richards says, LOL. Francisco Flete says, Wepahu, that's like a little like Manila. I drove by there every day going from Kipoli to Schofield Barracks during my 3-year tour in Hawaii. They have Jollibee and Shakey's there. Ha. Sinful says, for myself, I traveled here to Philippines 14 times before my 15th trip one way. Man, you were here a lot then, Sinfuls, more than me. I was only here twice, but I got married to the girl. Ted Lasalvia says, Sinfuls, thanks for the information. I have a future mission in life to explore the life of my mother, who was born in Cavite City, but we lost touch with the family a very long time ago. That's not cool. Yeah, that would be a good thing, interesting thing to look into, Ted. If you ever need help with that, when you get here, let me know. I'd be interested in seeing a reunification of your family and doing it on video. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be cool. Cool thing to show. That'd be a cool thing for you guys to look back on. Sorry Case says, good idea. Dean Thompson in the Philippines. Hey Rod Beckner, welcome to your first live. Christopher Leroy, if you came back to USA, what items would you pack in your luggage and bring back to the PI with you? I don't know. I think I took just about everything I needed with me, Christopher. Sinfuls might have something that he might want to add to that if he wants to, or the other guys that are over here. Dean might want to add something to that too. I'll let them take that one because I don't have any. I remembered pretty much everything I need. I never really needed anything, Ted LaSalvia, thank you. I'll keep you posted, he says. But let me go back here for a second. I want to talk about the guy that wanted to reunite with his family. We reunited a guy with his daughter over here. And it was kind of interesting because at first he really didn't want to reunite, and then later on he changed his mind, and he's actually kind of happy that he did now. And it was kind of a mess for his family, which is kind of strange. But everything kind of calmed down after a while and it got better. But it was wonderful getting them reconnected, and I was kind of glad that I was able to connect his daughter because she really wanted to find her father, and she actually met him in San Diego, so it's kind of cool. Sinful says, I would actually send a Balak Mayan box with consumables that are hard to find here or cheaper here. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Rod Beckner. Francisco Fletes says, I came to the Philippines maybe once a month during a 2-year tour in Seoul, Korea. During that 2-year tour, the USFK Korea commander allowed weekend passes to the Philippines. Air Asia was cheap, $65 round trip. That's cool. Let's see, RLV, good internet stream tonight. Thanks, man. It's about time we had a good internet stream. We've had some bad luck over the past few months a few times. That's why sometimes I'm not on here because of the internet stream. But we tore out our internet from Converge. Get this. because our internet was slow, and they said I had to tear it out and reconnect it. So they said cancel your Converge, and then we'll redo it for you. And so I did that. They reconnected it, and then they got me up to the 300 Mbps or whatever it is, or more. I think it might even be more than that. But at first, I was lower, and I complained. I says, I didn't do this to get lower internet. I did it to get better internet. And all of a sudden, they must have flipped a switch or something, and all of a sudden, boom, it went really high. So that's probably why it's so good tonight. So I'm kind of glad that this is working out. I even noticed it on my screen because it's reacting much better with you guys. This stuff is popping up faster and clearer, and it's not bouncing up and down for the comments and everything. Roy Jones says laptops and cell phones. There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I took my cell phone over here. I took a laptop, but I don't use laptop. I have my Mac computer, a desktop. Ted Salvia says actually it's channel like yours that have had me explore the PI expat life. I do plan on visiting in the future. Thanks, Ted. Our channel is a little bit different than the other channels because we talk about stuff, during the live stream, but also we talk about subjects that other people don't talk about. But I notice that since we started covering like mental health things that you might have over here, I noticed everybody else picked up on that, and now they're doing it too, and they're trying to play off of that, which nobody talked about that until we started bringing it up, which was kind of interesting. But it's okay. I don't care if people follow, do stuff like that. That's fine. BJ says, hello, Steve. Good evening. How's it going? Going good, man. Sinful says, Roy Jones, yes on tools. Ted LaSalvia, using your channel, I explored the SRV visa program. That's the biggest thing that we've done on this channel. I think if there's one thing that we helped people the most on was the SRV visa program. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of people get their SRV retirement visas for free. There was no charge like these other agencies out there, and no names mentioned. But I mean, they charge, and we get people. The PRA pays to have people get their PRA. They pay for the agent because they pay for Mary Rose. So, I just tell people give them a tip because she saves you like $1,000. And some of these other companies, they double dip. They get money from the PRA and the money from you. So when you hear about these agencies that are charging like $500, $800, or $1,000 or something like that, and they say, well, we do this, this, and this. Well, so doesn't the PRA agents. They do the same thing. They don't ride you around and stuff like that, but we offer that ride around through PAX. I don't make any money off of it. PAX charges $70, so that's the only cost that you'll have. And you can do that with a taxi cab. So just be aware of that. And if you have any questions, you can always call me during the process. I can help you. The only thing that the problem is when you go for the medical, it's a hard place to find. And that's why I tell people to use PAX for that, because it does help. Let's see, what 66, 45 thumbs up. We've been a little bit slow, I notice, lately on the amount of people. I'm not sure if it has to do with the holidays and it's September and it's busy or what. Usually we have a little bit more, but it's okay. Ted LaSalvia says, and potential for dual citizenship. I'm not eligible unless I naturalize. Okay. Gary Burkhart says, internet, grrr. Let's see. Your internet's not working tonight, Gary? Mine's fine. Let's see. Gary's one of our core members here. Ted LaSalvia, I'm not non-military, so the SRV program will require the 10K deposit. Okay. It's still worth it because you don't have to leave. And that's the best part about it. You don't have to keep coming and going and all that stuff. That's why I highly recommend people get it. And see, Ted says, yes, you provided the name of someone who can assist me with the process. Yeah, use her. If you ever need that name again, just let me know. I'll send it to you again. Just send me an email. Sinful says, Ted, yes, Mary Rose. Manila Martin says, I find a lot of expats came here with mental illness. Yes. Anxiety being the biggest one. When they get over here, I did a little thing about this, and I'm not sure if I posted it already or if it's coming up at the end of this month. I did a thing about anxiety and some of what the expats go through over here. And a lot of the expats come over here with a lot of mental health issues, and anxiety is the biggest. We have guys that won't even go out of their place but once a week to go get food. And they all end up going back, and they might go out a little bit, but not very much. And I really want to help these guys, but you can only help people so much. And it's kind of sad to watch that sometimes when we try to help those people, but Um, you can only do so much sometimes, you know. So I try to bring that to the forefront so that people don't waste their time coming over here and make a change thinking that's gonna be better, and they get over here and they can't get past their anxiety. Let's see, we're up to 76 and 49 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Um, but yes, mental illness is definitely a big thing. This says many have been lonely for way too long, and some women take advantage of them. You want to know something? This is funny. We have a couple people here that have come over here that never got married, and they don't want to get married. Stan's one of those people, and he doesn't even want a girlfriend, and he's happy over here. He's probably one of the happiest expats that I've seen over here, and he loves um, the friendliness of the Filipino people, and he feels like he has family over here, and so don't a lot of the other expats in our group. They melted right into our group, and we are family. We really are family. You know, it might not be a blood relation, but we've become and melted together as family. We look out for each other, um, and I give Stan a lot of credit for that because Stan has done so well in our group. Probably one of the best expats in our group. You know, that in our core group right around here that live around here, um, and he's done the best. He's done phenomenal. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, I did the 10K US dollar deposit. It's the expanded courtesy stream. I'm military, but I didn't qualify for the military visa because I'm younger than 50. Yes, you have to be over 50, guys. But when I turn 50, I'll switch over to the $1,500 deposit. Yes, I believe you have to go through the whole process again, Francisco, but I'm not sure. You can ask Mary Rose about that. She'll fill you in. Ted LaSalvia says, Francisco Fletes, good deal. Regular guy in the Philippines, the great Steve. Thanks, man. He asks, Francisco, how old are you? He says. Roy Jones, how was Labor Day weekend? My Labor Day weekend was just like any other weekend. You know, I had forgotten it was Labor Day weekend. I really didn't pay much attention to it. And then when I noticed my numbers were a little bit lower, I realized it was Labor Day weekend, and everybody was probably out, you know, doing their Labor Day weekend stuff, barbecues and everything. Christopher Leroy says, I think it's YouTube. I've been missing the notice of your live stream for a few weeks now. I'm not sure why that is. Some people get them and they get them by email though. Regular guy in the Philippines. I'm 44, and broke, but I will make a permanent move to the Philippines. Do you envy me? I don't. If you're broke, Francisco Fletes says it's a great deal because right after I got it, they banned it for people younger than 50. I snuck in right at the last minute. Now I'm grandfathered. Okay, that's good. Oh, Francisco, you're 41, man. You're young. You're a young buck in our group. Let's see. Ted says, Francisco Fletes, so you're a grandfather into the program. Regular guy in the Philippines. Francisco, you certainly made a good decision to enter the military young. Francisco Fletes says, yes, I am. Ted LaSalvia, Francisco Fletes, good to hear. Regular guy in the Philippines. Steve, does your currency trader friend see good things for the US dollar in the coming years? He says that he thinks it's going to go much higher still. He's still saying that right now. Sometimes he backtracks, but he hasn't backtracked at all. I actually haven't talked to him in a couple of days. I usually talk to him quite often. He usually calls me or he sends me messages or whatever, but he hasn't talked to me in a few days. So I don't know what his past, I think it's 3 days. I haven't talked to him, but last I heard, he thinks it's going to go like higher than 60. He doesn't know how much higher, but he says some of his guys are saying that's going to go a lot higher because of loans. he thinks the government here is going to take out more loans, and that could do some serious damage. So we'll see. And plus, with the war stuff going on, that could cause a lot of havoc too. And he's been watching that. Mac Valejas says, "Looking good. I feel like without the hat and cap." There we go. Thanks, man. Yeah, most of the time I wear my hat. Sometimes I even lay down with it because I have it on so much. I was actually laying down today, and when I woke up, I had my hat on. So that's just me. Gary Burkhardt says, "Internet's fine. You just reminded me of the other day when they unplugged me." Oh, okay. We were just talking about that a little while ago. I forget who I told. I told somebody about it. I might have even talked about here on here about it. Sorry, Case. That's my plan to be there as single, also part of LGBT community, so it makes things hotter, I guess. Yeah, it would make it harder in our group. I think um, we don't have any of that in our group. I'm not even sure if it. I'm sure there's places where you can fit in here for sure. There are places where they have that community more so. I think in Tagaytay they have some more of an LGBT community there. Sinful's Roy Jones. Yes, holidays are just another day when you're retired. Yes, definitely. Francisco Fletes, true that. Roy Jones says, yes, true. Sinful's weekdays feel like weekends. It does feel that way when you're retired. You lose track of your days. I don't even know what day it is sometimes. Sinful says, Roy Jones, you know what days are weekend days when you're retired. Sinful says, all the ones ending a Y. There we go. John Fetchko says, sent a $10 Remitly test to myself using Manila as my address. Girlfriend in Manila confirmed it, was refunded to me in about a month. That's cool, man. Remitly is really good. I love Remitly. I never have a problem with Remitly at all. So that's kind of cool. I swear by it, and I like the way it works online when it's getting ready to send you the money, and it confirms everything, and it sends you like little notifications more so than Western Union does, I think. James Franklin says, and then they do the cognitive test at doctors, and they ask what day. Yeah, for somebody that's retired, it really doesn't matter. I think I remember my father being asked that during a cognitive test. To be honest with you, what day is it? And this is when he was in the soldiers' home, and he had no clue, because he really didn't keep track, because he had no reason to. He told the lady, he says, "How do I know? I don't need to know what day it is." Francisco Fletes, I'm trying to find a dog trainer. I have a 4-month-old Great Dane, and she needs some discipline. She's a big little diva. LOL. I'm not sure where you would go for that. Sinful's he's up on the dog stuff. Sinful, do you have any idea where you could get a dog trained? Back home we used to have the what was it, Petco or something like that, and they used to do dog training there. Let's see. Says Raj and Bing says cool plaques on the wall. Thanks, man. I'll show you some. Right there. Indian motorcycles. My father had a 1941 Indian, so I always liked the old signs for that stuff. I got some other ones over there. I got 2 more over there. Francisco says, spell world backwards. Start by counting down from 100 by 7. LOL. Sinfuls, my recommendation is do a YouTube search here in Philippines. There is a lot of them. Okay. Dean says the days run together being retired, and boy, they go fast. Yeah, days here go fast, man, because I sleep late, and then it seems like I'm going to bed, because I go out and I do my video first thing when I get up. I go do something that I want to do with my family or whatever, and then we get home, and I usually just go take a nap or whatever, because I don't sleep well at night. Let's see, Tim G says, have you been to SNR? If so, thumbs up or down? Thumbs up. And also Landers is good too, but I say SNR is way better than Landers in my book anyway. Some people might say otherwise, but I'm very happy with SNR. I'm not talking about the pizza, because they have the pizza store in there too. SNR is also a pizza joint over here, owned by the same place. And if you join SNR, you get 10% off your pizza at all the SNRs at the malls. So, Francisco Flitta says, thanks, Sinfuls. Sinfuls, yes, SNR is thumbs up, definitely thumbs up. I'm not, Landers, I wouldn't give them a thumbs down though. I would say that I would give them in the middle, between the two. But some people do like them. I do go to Landers sometimes because it's a little bit closer. Because usually I'm going over to, for me it's closer I should say, because I usually go over there quite often. So it's just like on the way to when I'm going to Chili's or something, or Texas Roadhouse. See, Paul Osterhout says, Uncle Paul checking in. How you doing, Paul? Dean Thompson in the Philippines, Tim G, SNR can be extremely high depending on what you are looking for. Yes, it is very expensive, but you get what you pay for. If you're looking for something that you're really jonesing for, that's the place to go. But yes, it is very expensive. Let's see. Christopher says, I know you're first wife PI. How many trips have you done total? Total? 3. But I've been here 4.5 years this time. The other times I was here for, I don't know, like about a month each time. You know, I loved it then. That was back in the 80s, late 80s. You know, I loved it then. That's when the Philippines was still the Philippines. Um, let's see. Paul asked out thumbs up on SNR when I am at home. Francisco says SNR delivers, which is really good. Yes, SNR does deliver, and they also are on Lazada too. So you don't have to join if you order from Lazada. Just FYI. Let's see. Rocky Pac-Man says, Kumusta kuya? Salami po. I lived in the Philippines and still do, back and forth for 10 years, but my true home is in USA, Boston, Massachusetts. Best. Last night I went to Fenway Park. Aerosmith. There we go. That's cool. I like Aerosmith. They used to go to a place called Terra Luna in Lawrence, Massachusetts. It's a restaurant slash bar. I guess you'd call it like a resto bar. It was like a nightclub at night. It was really nice, and they had great food there too. You might want to try it. It's down in downtown Lawrence, and Steven Tyler goes in there sometimes on occasion. Actually, I think they have his picture up on the wall. Sinful says Landers is good also. Yes, it is. Gary Burkhart says SNR. Amen. Gary spends a lot of money there. He loves SNR. John Fetchko, typhoon near you? I'm hearing that there's a typhoon Indai near me or something like that. I got to look that up tonight. I haven't had time to really look at that and see what's going on with that. Roger Bing says your health plan is the dollar plan, not the peso plan. No, mine is the peso plan. It's I forget the name. I think it's Select to something. Raj, I'm gonna do a video on this probably within the next few days. So if you give me a few days on that, I'll give you the costs and everything on that, and I'll even give you the name of the plan. But it's not the dollar plan. The dollar plan is very expensive. The peso plan gives you many choices. Okay, so just FYI. Let's see. Sorry cases. Let's see. Get 10 minutes direct sunlight when you wake up. It will set your day to be great. I hope so. I usually go out in the sun right away every morning. As soon as I get up, I head outside. So, Sinful says SNR is pricey for Western items like Canada Dry Ginger Ale, for example, is 629 PHP for a 12-pack. You know, I seen it somewhere cheaper than that, Sinfuls, but I'm not sure where I saw it recently. We buy that, and Cedric drinks it all. I only get like 1 or 2 out of the 12-pack. I think Cedric drinks them all. Brooke Snyder says, I didn't know about the 10% discount at SNR Pizza. Yes, you get 10% discount. Francisco Fletes says, SNR is the only place I know that has salt and vinegar chips and beef jerky and Nathan's hot dogs. I didn't know about the Nathan's hot dogs. I'll have to check that out. See, Gary Burkhardt says, SNR, amen. Sinfuls, love Nathan hot dogs. Me too. I'm going to have to check that out. Sinful says 97 watches, 59 thumbs up. We actually had 100 now. Let's see, we got 62 thumbs up. And he says, tap it. Sinful says, yes, off the eastern coast. I'm going to have to look at that. Was it like southeast, Sinfuls? I would imagine. Sinful says a typhoon. Okay. John Bergeron says, I have direct express card for my SSDI. It works well, but the banks here charge me like 6%. I'm not sure how to get my money for less. There's many different ways to get money over here, tons of them. I use Remitly to get money over here. I transfer, if that's what you're asking. Let's see, Express card, I think the banks, they charge me like 6%. I would use Remitly. I don't think they charge that much. There's you can pay the one-time fee, or you can have it where they take a certain percentage of it. And if you send it a lot, that can get costly. But if you send a little, you have to price both out and see which is going to work best for you. Simple says, John Bergeron, if you're able to get a bank account with USAA, they rebate back all the ATM fees. Yeah, ATM fees, man. Metro Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts they rebate everything back to you. Everything goes back to you for fees, ATM fees and everything. if you use the ATM card over here. But I transfer it right over to my card over here because I don't like using my U.S. card because if it gets eaten, I'll pay the small fee or whatever just for safety because I don't want my card to get eaten. God forbid, you're not totally out of luck because you can use Remitly or Western Union to transfer money over here. But still, it just makes life harder. Francisco says, USA and Navy Fed reimburse ATM fees. Missy Wilson, hello, all good people here abroad and here in Texas. How you doing, Missy? My opinion only says, does your lawyer know anyone in Angeles City that can help with a retired visa? You don't need help. We can help you. Steven5975 at yahoo.com. I'll hook you up, and you don't need an attorney to do the retiree visa at all. I can hook you up with Mary Rose. I'm talking to my opinion only guy. My person is not an attorney, but she works with the PRA as an agent, and I can hook you up with her. She gets paid by the PRA. Between her and I, we can help you. But you being over here makes it a little bit more difficult, but you can still get it. Okay, but you will have to eventually get the apostles and all that stuff. You probably will need some documents, but I can have you talk to her first. Again, if you email me, Steven5975 at yahoo.com, and then ask me also for my phone number, my Philippine phone number, and you can talk to me, and I'll give you the scoop, and and it won't cost you a nickel except for the fees that the PRA usually charges because Mary Rose gets paid by the PRA, and I don't charge a nickel, so I can help you through the whole process. Sinful says, I get up each day and walk the dog and I go for a bike ride. I'm thinking about getting a bike, Sinfuls. I'm thinking about it. I heard that there's a bike place around here I can go bike riding, so I'm gonna try to find that place, and it's right in Tracy. Sinful says Northeast. Okay. Junebug says, historically, when December comes, Forex drops as more remittance comes in and former Filipino ballot buy-ins come back, especially this year because they weren't able to visit for the past 2 years. Missy Wilson says, cooking bacon, refried beans, and scrambled eggs. There we go. Sounds good. Sounds like a good Belizean breakfast. In Belize, that's what they have. John Fetch along with some fried jacks. Look up, if you guys ever want to make something really good, look up Belizean fried jacks. They probably have them on YouTube or something like that. You want to try something good? It's the best stuff that you can eat. It's like fried dough a little bit. It's delicious. It's actually like a Mexican thing kind of, but it's delicious. John Fetchko says Sabret hot dogs are better. John Osterhout says north by northeast. John Bergeron says I was not in the service. Okay. I can still help you. We can still help you. That doesn't matter. The block. Hi sir. Keep it up. What you're doing. My only opinion. And yes, SNR has Nathan hot dogs. Francisco Fletes says Remitly, World Remit, and Wise are good for transferring. Yes, they are very good. I love Remitly. Paul Osterhout says I use Bank of America and send in pesos, no fee. Rodney Beckner says, good evening, Steve, Rod, and Cecilia from Texas. How you doing, Rod and Cecilia? Welcome to the channel. We got 165 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Brooke Snyder says, get the Wise DR card. Works great for anywhere debit is taken and easy to load with great exchange. Yeah, he's been talking about Brooke has been talking about that for a while, and I've heard other people talking about the Wise card too. Might be something worth looking into, guys. I don't have it myself. I'm happy with just dealing with cash. That's just me. Rodney Beckton says, hello, Dean. Sinful says, my crypto Visa card got sucked into an ATM because I tried to use it in a government bank, LOL, but just had the personnel inside give it back to me. That's cool. At least you got it back. Francisco Fletes says, I asked USA and Navy Fed, so give me back up debit cards, so I keep one of each in my wallet, and the backup debit cards are locked up in case one gets eaten. You can lock those cards too. You know, if you ever lose your card, you can usually go online if you have it on the app from your bank, and you can go on there and lock it. But I rather have the money transferred to BDO and then use the BDO card. That way, if you lose your BDO card, you just go get another one. Let's see. My opinion only says thanks, buddy. You're welcome. Let's see. Sinful says get a non-electric. LOL, Steve. Okay. Um, I was thinking about getting the electric, but actually I'm thinking about getting a pedal one now somewhere. I've been looking at some of the pedal ones around here, but I want to get a halfway decent one. I want to get a folding one. That's what I want. I had a folding one before when I was in Lawrence, Mass. I love that thing. It rode like a 10-speed. It had small wheels, but it rode like a 10-speed. And it rode nice. And I love that bike. I paid about $500 for it, but you know, I see some of the bikes around here that they look the same, but they don't ride the same. Francisco Flett says I also have Wise card and PayPal card as backup. I use PayPal, but I never got a PayPal card. Regular guy in the Philippines says, Steve, any word from Starlink in the Philippines? I haven't heard much from them. I heard that in December they were going to be, starting all that stuff, but I'm not sure if they will or not. They're always behind on things. That's one thing about Tesla. He promises things, but he's always a little bit behind. He usually says something, and it's usually 3 to 6 months later or more. That's one thing about Elon Musk. He likes to make it sound like it's going to happen right away, and it usually can't. Things don't happen fast in the world. Francisco Fletes says, yes, they did. Freddie says, sweet. John Fetchko, vloggers confusing me. Is police report required over 70? No, it is not. Don't let anybody tell you that it is, because it's not. Over 70, it is not needed. You do not need a police report for the SRRB. Okay, so don't let the vloggers tell you anything otherwise. And if you need to hear from somebody about that, you can contact Mary Rose. You can contact me at Steven5975@yahoo.com. And I'll hook you up with Mary Rose, and she'll tell you herself. Okay, but yes, over 70, you should not need that, unless there's some special thing or something. Nothing I know of though would change that. Okay, Dean Thompson, the Philippines. Rod Beckner, glad to see you. Finally got in. Best group in the Philippines. K Fox, hi, good. PM FM Europe. Hope you all doing good. Stay dry there and take care. Thanks, man. Thanks, K Fox. James Franklin, Francisco, aren't you concerned about someone inside the bank and using your card while you're using yours? 2 cards. Let's see. Brooke Snyder says a lot of OFWs use Wise. Saves a lot. Okay. Sinful says get a giant brand, but don't know if they have folding. I think you know what? I think I had a giant brand, and I think that might have been the folding bike. I could be wrong on that. I can't remember the name of it, but it might have been Giant. That name sounds familiar. That was a while back. Dexter Derlin, I got a Charles Schwab account because of the ATM fee rebates. Yeah, Charles Schwab is really good, and Ameritrade is the same. I have Ameritrade and Charles Schwab. They're both Charles Schwab companies. Roger Bing says, I work in the Naval Station Woodley in Tagum City. We both want a cooler climate to retire in the Philippines. The Philippines is as hot as it is here. It could be worse. You know what I mean? Once you acclimate, I don't think it's that bad here, to be honest with you. I mean, we have our days here where the humidity is really, really high. But for the most part, once you acclimate, it's pretty good. If you wear one of those things around your neck, the AC things that me and Sinfuls has, it does make a little bit of a difference. To me, it does. I'm going to actually buy a better one. There is a better one out there that has 2 pads, one that goes here and one that goes here. It goes on each side of the neck and it cools you. And I think it lasts a little bit longer too. So the batteries last a little bit longer. But I'm going to check into it. I think they're about $60. Sinful says also, if you have been in the Philippines for over a year, you only need local MBI report. Yes. But I think if you're 70 or over, I don't think you need any police report. Tim G says, I heard the outdoor mask mandate is close to ending. It is ending. It has ended. From watching current videos, it seems like it is not being enforced. Yeah. No. Only when you go in the malls. It's just for outside, though. I thought it was already over because they had said that it was already over before, and it was a false report, I guess. So I was walking around every place outside without a mask when I was walking downtown. So nobody said anything to me. Sinful says, Dexter Derlin, yep, I have that too. Also easy for transfers online. Diamonds and Legends is on board. He says, hi, Steve. PAL changed the time from JFK to Manila from 1:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Ugh. Had to change my flight from Boston to JFK. Just wanted to let those who booked that flight going forward. Let's see. James Franklin says, Sinfuls, Have a money-making scheme to generate dollars for the group. Rickshaw. There we go. Multitasking. Francisco Fletes says, when I went to Boracay, I had some unauthorized charges. I reported it to USAA. They gave me an immediate credit and sent me a new card via FedEx. That's cool. You know, I heard Boracay is actually having a lot of problems like that. A lot of people getting ripped off and scammed down there. I think they're scanning cards down there or something like that. So be really careful if you go into Boracay, because I've heard like about 10 different stories about people getting robbed in Boracay, stuff stolen out of their rooms. A lot of that within the past year. I've heard at least 10 different stories from down there, and I'm having second thoughts about ever even going back there again. I went there a long time ago, back in the 80s, when it was beautiful. Diamonds and Legends says, flying Tuesday morning. Yeah. Okay. Give me a yell tomorrow night. Yes, I know you had some Diamonds and Legends. I know you wanted to ask me. I think you wanted to ask me a question or something. If you need to give me a yell, just give me a yell on the phone. You know that. You have my U.S. phone number, I think, and it calls me direct here. And give me a call tomorrow night if you want. Sinful says, James Franklin, which is your morning on Sunday. Okay, so Sinful says, James Franklin, LOL, I will pass. Ha, ha, ha. John Fetchko says, wasn't Angeles 50 years ago? It was Dodge City. I think Angeles hasn't changed that much. Probably a little bit now. It's probably changed quite a lot, over the past 2 years. But before that, it was pretty much the same. But it's kind of going back to the same as it was before. But I'm sure there's going to be some totally different changes as far as the buildings and stuff like that. Sinful says the outdoor mask mandate is ending very shortly. Sinful says, just waiting on BBM to sign the order. People are already walking around though without it, those Sinfuls. I've seen people today walking around here without any masks. In fact, I was one of them. So, Sinful says, Diamonds and Legends, great to hear. Yeah, Diamonds and Legends. He's one of our. He's a fellow Bostonian too. Let's see. Paul Osterhout says, crossing the infamous. Let me see. Poop River from Subic Basin to town. Francisco Fletes says, I got an Interpol report in lieu of police report because I didn't bring police report with me. Yeah, you can do that too, and that's actually better for some people. If Interpol, the Interpol check thing isn't down. Last time I was in there, they said it was gonna be down for a few days to a week. I think it's back up now, but you'd have to talk to Mary Rose about that. If anybody out there needs to do it without the police check, they usually will do Interpol for you, and it's actually better. But keep in mind, sometimes that does go down. Lazy Larry says, Paul Osterhout, I remember going over that river many times back in 1974. Sinful says, yes, I don't wear outside. Francisco Fletes says, yes, that happened to me, but it was great time going back next month, but taking cash, won't use cards. Francisco Fletes says, I won't wear one outside. Okay, let's see, we're about 63 minutes into this. I'm at the end of the thing here. We got 92 people, 71 thumbs up. We can keep on going here if you want, guys. We got to get some more people dropping some stuff on here, though. But as far as SRRV, guys, if you guys are thinking about doing an SRRV, definitely contact me for information on Mary Rose. I know a lot of you guys, you new guys that are thinking about doing it, definitely do it. Don't even hesitate. It's way better than tourist visa, and I think a lot of the guys out there would agree with me on that, because it is, especially if you were in the military. But anyway, I think we're going to call it a night tonight. We're past 60 minutes here, and it's starting to slow down on here. But we'll be on here next week, guys. And I want to thank Sinfuls, Rich, for helping to moderate tonight. I want to thank you guys for being on here. And we'll be on here next week. I'm going to try to let more people know that we do this on Saturday night. I'm going to try to add that to the front of a couple of my vlogs and stuff like that. So that way there we can try to get some more people on here on Saturdays. But 100 people is really good, because we have a pretty good conversation on here, which makes a difference. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys. Have a good night, guys, and take care, everybody. Okay, God bless, guys. Take care.